What's up guys, it is Ryzeal here and welcome to another amazing video on the channel. So we have a channel first, we have our first ever Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis format deck profile. Yes, if you don't know what Genesis format is, it is basically a new format that Konami announced about a week ago at time of recording, and it is a format where cards cost points and you have about 100 points, give or take, because you can adjust the point total, but I think the standard is 100 points to build your deck, and stuff like hand traps cost a bunch of points. Cards that are just generically good loads of points, and there's no ban list. You can play every single card, but obviously there is a point cost to it. So the challenge is build a deck with 100 points and try and compete. For today, I have gone for Ryzeal Time Thief, because I think this is a deck that, with the Time Thief engine at least, Ryzeal do get a big boost. I've had to make some sacrifices. As you can see, the Ryzeal cards are pretty expensive, with Ice and Sword being 20, X being 25 points, Detonator and Duo Drive also being 20 points, so that is more than 100 already. So I had to make some adjustments to the list, but I hope you guys enjoy this Genesis type of content. If you do, leave a comment down below, smash the like button and subscribe, as I am looking to do this at least once every 2 weeks, and a little bonus upload for you guys on the Wednesday to do with Genesis format. So let me know if you guys appreciate that. But let's get straight into this Genesis Ryzeal Time Thief deck profile. Starting off with the Ryzeal part of this Genesis deck profile, we're playing one Ice Ryzeal, one Sword Ryzeal, one Star Ryzeal, one Node Ryzeal, and even one Palm Ryzeal. Why? Because Ryzeal cards are very expensive, guys. Ice and Sword being 20 points each, and X being 25 points each. It wasn't viable, at least in my build, to add more than one copy of Ice and Sword, and I couldn't fit X at all, which is a shame because I really wanted to play that card. However, stuff like Detonator and Duo Drive are also 20 points each, so playing X would mean I'd have to cut a Duo or a Detonator, which just isn't viable in my opinion. I think you really do need to be playing one Ice, one Sword, one Ryzeal Detonator, and one Ryzeal Duo Drive. We're playing one Star, one Node, and one Palm to have extra ways of extending or getting access to our Ryzeal stuff. So I think not a lot needs to be said there. Also 0 points. I know Palm isn't good, but it can summon itself by shuffling back a Ryzeal, and in this build you're going to need to be recycling your Ice and Sword a lot, because there's only one of each, so you need to make sure that every time you summon them you have something to search, because that's the really good thing about Ryzeal. So it's a different game plan, and I like it, to be honest with you. It's slower, but it also focuses a lot on recycling. For the Ryzeal stuff, we have Cross, Plugin, and Hole. We play one of each. We don't play the other one. It's not that good, even in Genesis format. But Cross is a negate, so that can put back and draw. Plugin is a reborn and a attach, and Plasma Hole is pops onto the field, and you can immediately XCs to any generic XCs. Doesn't need to be in a Ryzeal one. So I play one of each, and I think this is as much as you can afford, to be honest with you. If you want to squeeze in an X, you're gonna have to sacrifice some of your extra deck bits, but for now I think this is the way to be playing the Ryzeal stuff. Moving on, we have the supporting consistency cards. These cost 0 points for some reason, so 777 for Tachyon and 777 for Senshin. They sort of gave every XC's deck a little bit of a boost, because you have the 7th cards that obviously search. We can search our Ice directly with Tachyon, and they cost 0 points, so why not max out of all of them, especially that Bonfire cost points. So we replaced the one Bonfire with just another copy of 7th Ascension, because usually you play 3 and 2 or 3 and 1. Here we're just playing 3 and 3 because we really need to be seeing that consistency. Moving on into a supporting engine, you can play the Dododo engine. I'm playing the Time Thief engine, so triple Time Thief Regulator, double Time Thief Winder, one Time Thief Adjuster, one Time Thief Bezel Ship. This is a fantastic engine in a format like Genesis, because everything is slower. Ash Blossom costs points, so does Dominus Impulse, so your Time Thief Regulator will be resolving that much more. If you don't know what it does, on summon, if you control no other monsters, you're going to be able to tribute it and special 2 Time Thief cards from your deck, being the Winder and either the Bezel Shift or Adjuster, depending on what your hand looks like. Winder can then search for the counter trap to have that negation, and Adjuster can Foolish Burial, or if you summon the Bezel Ship, you can have a quick effect attach, which is super nice, and I really think this engine is underrated. We have 1 Time Thief Startup, 1 Time Thief Retrograde, and 1 Time Thief Flyback. I think this is all you need for the Time Thief stuff. It costs 0 points, so it is absolutely fantastic. And it's just a really good way of spamming multiple Xyz monsters onto the field. And now that you're playing a different engine, you can always just basically 1 Regulator gets you into your Ryzeal engine anyway, because you can summon Winder and an Adjuster, search, dump, and then go straight into dual drive, and there you go. You got your 2 Ryzeal searches just like that. So I really like the fact that you can go into engines very easily with this. For example, as well, if you don't want to go into the dual drive, you can special a specific Xyz that we're playing, so that specials a light monster out of your hand, special summon the Ice Ryzeal, and go from there. So options, basically. Starter is to extend, and Flyback is another interruption by banishing it from the grave. And also, if you don't know what Time Thief Redoer does, if you do manage to get a trap attached to it, it is a Phoenix Wing Blast, stacking the top of your opponent's deck with a card on the field. So it's really good as well. That is it for the Time Thief stuff. For the hand traps, they all cost points apart from these, so I am playing them. Triple DD Crow and triple Skullmeister. That is it for the hand traps, because these are free, and I think having some sort of hand trap is useful. Crow is always good, and Skullmeister can negate anything in the opponent's graveyard. There's going to be a lot of random decks in Genesys, maybe some of them use the graveyard, therefore Skullmeister is useful, and it isn't a once per turn either. None of these are, so I like having them in. For the spells, triple Dark Ruler No More, simply because it costs 0 points and it's a fantastic board breaker. If you are going second, you can just Dark Ruler the field and play. So I really like that. We have, for consistency again, triple Upstart Goblin, considering it is, I believe, 0 points or very little points. So I managed to squeeze it in. And we're playing a 37 card deck because Upstart just draws you a card and gives your opponent 1,000 life points. But with the new time rules, it is absolutely fine, because even if your opponent has more life, you'll just result in a double loss. It's not like you lose and your opponent wins if you use this going into time. So it is really nice. And some tech here. I play double Forbidden Lance, especially in a Ryzeal deck, because Dark Ruler is very prominent. Lots of negation spells are quite prominent at the moment, obviously, because hand traps aren't, well, they are viable, but they're very expensive. So people are switching to a more board breaker approach, stuff like Dark Ruler, Raigekis. Forbidden Lance is a way of chaining, making them waste a card and keeping your Detonator on the field, which I really like, because you need Detonator on the field. If you can stick the Detonator and resolve 3-4 pops, your opponent isn't going to be able to play, especially in Genesys. So I really like the Forbidden Lance. Going second as well, if your opponent wants to imperm something or do whatever, you can just chain the Lance, and then it's basically like a call buy or cross out for this. I think they're 3 points each, so very cheap. And of course, double Cosmic Cyclone, because people are playing more back row, more spells and traps. So Cosmic is free, and it is a good disruption by paying 1,000 life points and banishing something, or banishing a spell trap from the field. So really good. Let's move on now into the extra deck. Moving on into the extra deck for the Ryzeal stuff. Very light, because they cost lots of points. 1 dual drive and 1 detonator. They cost 20 points a piece, so playing more than 1 of each is really going to hinder your main deck in terms of ice, sword, and we're already not playing X, so yeah. Dual drive and detonator, 1 of each, simply because this is how the deck works. Dual drive being able to be made with any 2 level 4 monsters, and you can basically during the main phase detach 2 materials and add 2 Ryzeal cards with different names from your deck to your hand. And detonator is able to just be a non-once per turn quick effect pop in response to whenever your opponent breathes, basically. And if it's special, you're going to be able to attach a card from the graveyard to it as material to get an extra pop. And if an Xyz monster you control would be destroyed by battle card effect, you can detach 1 material from this card instead. So I really like this. I think 1 of each is fine. Remember, you can recycle them a lot now because the deck has sort of pivoted to recycling your resources. We have 1 Time Thief Redoer, 1 Time Thief Double Barrel, and 1 Time Thief Perpetua, simply because they are decent, Redoer being the better one in my opinion, Double Barrel being very good, and Perpetua coming up occasionally as well, so why not play 1 of each because they are free. And we had the extra deck space because there's not too many decent options that are free and everything else costs points. So I really like Redoer being it banishes itself to the end phase, a draw and a Wing Blast all in 1 card. Double Barrel being able to give himself attack, being a Change of Heart, and also being a imperm all-in-one card, depending on what you detach. And Perpetua able to detach material, target a Time Thief, reborn it. The Time Thief is in the grave. Target one other Xyz monster you control, attach one Time Thief card from deck to it as material on a quick effect. So if you have like a Perpetua and a Redoer, for example, you can summon the Redoer, and then on a quick effect give Redoer either the spell or the trap, and then you get a draw or a bounce, which is super nice, so I really like them. One Dagosto Emerald, this costs 1 point, so we used 1 point here because it is a very good way to recycle resources. Target 3 monsters in the grave, shuffle all 3 into the deck, draw a card. Yes, please, I will gladly take that. And having an extra material under it is really, really good, because with stuff like Bezel Ship and other of the Ryzeal stuff, you can detach that material and get an extra body onto the field to then make another Xyz play. We play, this cost us 10 points, another basically a resource thing. We play Duelists simply because detach 2 materials, draw 2 cards, reborn a card, or double the attack of a monster you control, and then skip the corresponding phase. Too good not to play in my opinion, so I play the Duelists. We play 1 Castel because it is a Book of Moon, or again, it is another Wing Blast, except it shuffles a card, a face-up card on the field into the deck, or you can target a face-up card and Book of Moon, and it's free, so why not play the Castel? I really wish you could play the Harpy's Trap, but it itself is 100 points, you wouldn't be able to fit it in. 1 Exciton, this costs nothing surprisingly, so you can just make this going second, have like a board wipe. 1 Tornado Dragon, in case back row matchups are a problem, we can just make it go into the Tornado and have a quick effect MST. We have number 106 Giant Hand, not as attack on target, but as like a viable thing, because it is 2 level 4 monsters, and when a monster effect is activated on your opponent's field, detach 2, negate that effect, and then it cannot change its battle position. So it's like a negate for the cost of 2 level 4 monsters. We play 1 Eclipse Twins because this card is still very good in Ryzeal. You obviously can't send it with X, so it's not as free. However, it takes 2 level 4 monsters, or you can treat a rank 4 monster you control as a level 4, which is really nice. Why would you do that? First of all, it can make up to 2 attacks during the battle phase and 2/5, but if it's sent to the grave, you can target 2 other rank 4s and special summon them, then attach 1 as material. So it is a very, very good card to combo with stuff like your Ryzeal Detonator. We have 1 Light Dragon at Ignista because you can make this and then pop a card on the field because it's up to the number of at Ignista monsters you control, and this itself is an at Ignista, so you get pop. We have the Starring Knight. 2 level 4s, detach 1 material from this card, special summon a light monster from your hand, so you special summon your ice basically. So this is a way with the Time Thieves of going into a Xyz, and if you really want to special the ice without using any of its effects, you can just special the ice by the Starring Knight effect. And then wrapping it up, we have number 104 Masquerade as the Tachyon target. That is it for the deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed my very first ever Genesys deck profile. Remember, I do keep it to 100 points as that is usually the normal format. If you guys want to see more points on the channel or less points, do let me know. I think in total we used about 97 points out of the total 100 to build this deck, so we can easily squeeze in another Forbidden Lance if you wanted to go above 40, for example. That's another way of using your 3 points. But if you also want to see side deck, I haven't got a side deck built at the moment, but I am considering stuff like No Material, stuff like Alpha, the Master of Beasts, and other 0 point cost cards that are decent. I think No Material might be a sleeper pick this format simply because it stops tributing and any type of summon from the extra deck. Obviously links are gone, however Xyz is very prevalent, and Fusion or whatever, No Material would be able to stop it. Then I think we're rocking stuff like Warning Points, I don't think they cost anything, and other traps like that we want to potentially be siding in going first to have a better chance of sort of stunning the opponent. So that is it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you enjoyed Genesys type of content, make sure you smash that like, leave a comment down below. What are you playing for Genesys format? And subscribe if you are new. But make sure that you always stay rogue.
It's time! Let's go!